as the strains of my favourite ABBA song melt away, I want to wish you all a very, very happy new year. I hope you're not feeling too delicate today and you are prepared for a sudoku treat, because we are welcoming in 2024 with a puzzle by none other than Phistomefel. And you may say, if you're a connoisseur of the sudoku world, you may say, hang on, Phistomefel hasn't published any new puzzles recently. You would be right. But this puzzle, which has existed, I think, for over a year, we've never done it on the channel. And let me explain why. Back in the day, I made a foolish proclamation where I said that there were some setters whose styles I was so familiar with that if I solved a puzzle by them without knowing they were the author, I could say, oh yeah, that's a Rocky Rower puzzle, or that's a Piotr V puzzle. And some setters decided to test whether that was indeed true. And I think, led by Riff Clown, if I'm not mistaken, a pack was created, and Mark and I streamed some of the puzzles from that pack, and that feels like it was a long time ago now. Anyway, for some reason that eludes me at this point, but seems mad, there was one puzzle in that pack that we didn't do, and it was by Phistomefel. So it's a total oversight. So what better way to welcome in 2024 than to put that right and have a go at Phistomefel's Guess the Setter puzzle, which is an 8x8. I have absolutely no clue how difficult it is. But I can tell you something, I am very, very much looking forward to having a go at this. I miss the great man's puzzles greatly. And yeah, this is what we're going to do in today's video. Now, do I have any news for you today? I think I do. Well, the most important news is if you're a patron of the channel over on Patreon, at 4 PM today, we released our brand new Fun of the Fair Sudoku hunt, starting 2024 with the competition, which runs until the 20th of January. Do have a look at that pack of puzzles. I think you'll enjoy them. The first two, at least, are definitely approachable. Yeah, let us know how you get on, and we really, really hope you enjoy it. And thanks, obviously, to all those of you who support us over there. It's massively appreciated. We do try and make it worth your while with lots of extra content. At the moment, there's the 3.5-hour video from me for December's monthly reward, solving all of those wonderful 4x4s from the Skunk Works. And coming up very soon, we're going to have Roller Coaster Nurikabe by the Cogito, which is a very long solve. Oh, speaking of very long solves, that was something I also wanted to mention. So those things are over on Patreon at the moment. But if you haven't had a look at yesterday's puzzle, New Year's Eve's puzzle, you must try this puzzle. Here it is: Circled Knights by Circled Killers by Sparknight. This is incredible. It is incredible. It's Phistomefelian. It's got such beautiful, interesting logic in it. I'm not going to pretend it was easy. It took me a couple of hours to solve. But it's just an experience. It is one of the great Sudoku puzzles. So if you fancy hard puzzles, do try and have a go at it. And even if you don't, you might enjoy the video. So I'll try and remember to put a link on the screen. What else can I tell you about? I know, I want to wish somebody a very happy birthday. Sylvia, you've turned 91 today. And I know this because your son Phil wrote to us and yeah, asked for a shout out. Now, Sylvia, I know Phil was honest enough to tell us that you don't watch the channel, but you have noticed that at 8:30 every evening and 11 PM, Phil seems to be glued to his tablet watching our videos. This is what he's doing. So Phil, thank you for watching, and Sylvia, we hope you have an absolutely brilliant 91st birthday. What a birthday to have on the first of the year every year. I think it's a very good excuse for chocolate cake, and I hope that you have a slice of chocolate cake that is at least half icing, because that's how all chocolate cake should be. Now, was there anything else I was meant to tell you? There probably was. Let me look at my list. I don't know. I don't know if there was anything else. Why don't we get on with some solving? Guess the Setter by Phistomefel. These are the rules of the puzzle. 1 to 8 must be placed in each row, column and marked region. So, okay, so we've got to put 1 to 8 in every row, column And you can see that there are these sort of irregularly shaped regions in this puzzle, including one that looks like a lion to me, and one that, oh, so I thought that one looked like a tuning fork, but actually no, it's not that big. It looks like that. And yeah, so that's what we've got to do. That's one of the things. A purple line contains a sequence of consecutive digits in any order. So imagine this square was a 1, then these squares would have to be the digits 2, 3 and 4 to make sure that this was a consecutive sequence. I did not deserve that. It's a celebration today of the new year, and the 3 in the corner tried to sprinkle the confetti as a result of that, but that's unearned and so doesn't get a song. Yes, but if one is on this line, then 2, 3 and 4 are on the line, but they can appear in any order. Oh yeah, now here is the interesting, well, not the interesting, but this next rule is unusual. Cells separated by an X sum to 10. Cells separated by a V sum to 5. All possible X's and V's are given. Now, the eagle-eyed among you will say, hang on, there are no X's and V's between cells in this puzzle. Yeah, that is true, and that means that this puzzle, we can have no domino in this puzzle where the digits would add up to 5 or 10, because all X's and V's are given and there are none. So it's called a negative constraint. It's a strange thing, but they are the rules that we're going to be working with in this one. Do have a go. This is a rare treat at the moment. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, can I think of it? I get a given digit today. How do we do this then? I don't think the negative constraint, well, especially not with the given digit being a 5, because obviously we could never have put 5 into any of those squares to prevent a 10 domino anyway by sudoku, and none of these squares could be a 0, so I don't think we're going to make use of the given digit. I think it's going to be geometry to start. I think we're going to have to, yeah, I mean, for example, I know that digit's position in row 1, because obviously it can't, this cell can't repeat in its region. This region has to contain all the digits 1 to 8, so it can't have a repeat, so that digit, which must appear somewhere in row 1, must go there. Which is nearly interesting for column 2's green digit, which the green digit in column 2 can't go there and can't go there. So it's in one of those two cells, I think. Right, that's not exactly blown the puzzle open. Green in this region has to go in one of two places. I mean, that's such a strange pencil mark. Irregular puzzles are very difficult from that perspective, because this looks weird, doesn't it? If oh, is it going to matter that? No, there's no reason, is there, that we couldn't have green on both purple lines? At least there's no obvious reason. Yeah, and these purple lines are just too short to be useful, because we're picking four consecutive digits from the digits 1 to 8, which means there's no digit that we know for certain is on a purple line, whereas quite often in full-size Sudoku, 9x9 Sudoku, you get 5-cell Renban lines, and a 5-cell Renban line must have a 5 on it, because however you slice 5 consecutive digits from the digits 1 to 9, you will always pick up a 5. But here, we could, you could have 1, 2, 3, 4, or you could have 5, 6, 7, 8, and there is no digits in common between those, and you could obviously have anything in between as well. Bar humbug, what does this mean? Right, okay, I'm going to change tack slightly, I think, and look at those two digits, because those two digits have to find a home in column 1, and they can't repeat in their own region, and they're not green by dint of Sudoku, so those two digits go there. That is what I'm going to claim next. And therefore, I don't really know how to pencil mark this, but where did the yellow digits go in column 2 is the next question to ask, I think, because they can't go here, because these 2 digits are obviously already in this region. So one of them goes here, and one of them goes there. But now we're getting into the realms of... Well, now we're getting into difficulty, aren't we? Because I can't differentiate these. So I know these are both these 2 digits, but I don't know what order they go in. Ah! Well, hang on, actually. Hang on, because I do know those 2 digits are different. Because they're on the same Renban line. So imagine this was a 1. This can't be another 1, because this is a set of consecutive digits. It's not a repeating set of digits. Right, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my highlighting, I think. I'm going to make that top cell blue. And I'm going to keep this as being yellow. Oh, that's going to push the green up, isn't it? Yeah. So there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot of things I'm spotting now. Right. In fact, let's go back slightly. Let's go back to here. And let's note that because yellow in column 2 is definitely in those 2 squares, and yellow is definitely not the same colour as green, this can no longer be green. So that's got to be the green in column 2. That's the first thing I'm seeing. Now the second thing is, because these 2 colours are different, I'm going to change our colour scheme. So I'm going to say that this top cell here is blue. Now that's therefore definitely different from this yellow, and it's definitely different from this cell, which means this is also blue. But now these 2 cells, we don't know what these are. These are a yellow-blue pair. But we have within these 4 squares managed to differentiate the nature of the digits, which feels like it's a better thing to do. Now, what does that mean? Right, okay, where does yellow, very specifically yellow, not blue, where does yellow go in that region? And I think the answer to that is interesting. I know. If you never speak to me at parties, especially not New Year's Eve parties, goodness me. All I was talking about was Sid Waddell. Anyway, yeah, yellow has to go in the same cells as green, look. So this is a yellow-green pair. But blue can be in any of those squares, which feels... So actually, what's this? This is definitely either yellow or green. And we know 3 of the 4 digits on the top Renban. We don't know that one. Although, actually, I can see something about that one. Let's just pick a new colour. Let's make that orange for a second. Where does orange go in that region? It's got to go there. Which means that what does that mean? Don't know, actually. I wondered whether I was going to be able to get orange pinpointed a little better in the lion shape that's in the middle of the grid. I mean, orange is in one of 4 places, but orange could be on the Renban, so there's nothing. There's nothing there. Orange is in one of 5 places in column 1. Green, yellow, blue. Green, yellow, blue. Sorry, I've got stuck. It's not that surprising, it's Phistomefel. But I don't like the feeling of being stuck. I do know I've got 4 coloured digits. These are all consecutive digits, aren't they? So that feels mildly interesting. Oh, I see. I see how to do. Oh, this is good. Right. Right. This is definitely right. Right. This is beautiful. This is so subtle and simple at the same time. Okay, this is where we look. Because I said earlier that I didn't know that there was no necessary digit that was in this 2x2 that was on this Renban. Now there is. There must be a 5 on here. And that is because this cannot be a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple anymore. Let me show you. And this time it's the negative constraint is the reason why. Because if this was 1, 2, 3 and 4, we've got to ensure that however we organise these digits on the purple line, there's never a 5 domino between any of these in any of these positions. How can we do that? Well, the beauty of this is not just this 2x2 itself. It's this domino, which pairs up that diagonal, and this domino, or indeed that one. This domino is what I saw, which pairs up that diagonal. And what that means is that what it means very specifically, let me try and be precise about this, is that for every digit that exists on this square Renban, there is a domino that in this puzzle somewhere that links it to every other cell. So imagine that was a 1 in the corner. Then we would know that we mustn't have a 1-4 pair anywhere in the puzzle, because 1 and 4 add to 5. But there is, because even if we make those two not 4, and make this a 4, there's this one that exists in the puzzle. So that doesn't work. You can't do it. And if you say, well, I could put the 1 and the 4 on the other diagonal then. No, you can't, because that blue transposes there and creates another naughty domino. So there is a plethora of naughty dominoes which indicate that we can't have 1, 2, 3, 4 on the 2x2 in the corner. And therefore, we're picking 4 digits from the digits 2 to 7, which means there must be a 5 on here. So one of these digits is a 5. And it's not that one. Oh no, we can't. I wondered if I could do the same trick there, but I can't. Oh. No, okay. Okay, sorry. No, we can do much better, can't we? 2. 2 can't go in this 2x2 either. Because having established there's no 1, it's the same logic. Having established there's no 1 on the square, imagine there was a 2 on the square. Then we would know it was a 2, 3, 4, 5 square. But it wouldn't matter where the 2, if we put it doesn't matter where you put the 2. There must be a domino in the puzzle now that links 2 and 3. Because now we can't put a 3 in either of those, which means the 3 goes there, but we know that there's a green-orange domino, so it doesn't work. So there's definitely a 6 on here as well. Oh, no, okay, right, I was fooled by this. This is far more constrained. It's still constrained. 3, 4, 5, 6 has a 4 and a 3. If it was 3, 4, 5, 6 in the corner, 4 and 6 would be linked somewhere in the puzzle by a naughty domino. If it was 4, 5, 6, 7, 4 and 6 are linked by a naughty domino. So the only way that this can exist in the puzzle is if it's 5, 6, 7, 8. That is just beautiful. Okay. So what does that mean? So this is 5, 6, 7 or 8. These are 5, 6, 7 or 8. These are 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm just going to put them all in, actually. I'm now wondering whether this is a sort of low-high colouring puzzle. I've got loads of cells in this puzzle that have to be, let's actually do some colouring here, that have to be 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. Look, all of those, all of these, because they see all of the high digits. Sorry, I realise I've just corpsed here. Right, so now we know something interesting about this Renban, actually. Because that digit is a low digit. So it's a 1, 2... In fact, it's a 1, 2, 3 or 4. It's not a 1 anymore, is it? Because this is low. When I say low, I mean it's from the bracket 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is high. It's from 5, 6, 7 and 8. This can't be 8. Because if it was 8... the only thing you could put on here would be an 8, 7, 6, 5 sequence, and that could never take in this cell. And this can't have 1 on it, because that would make this a 1, 2, 3, 4 sequence, which could never take in that cell. So because we know there is a low and a high digit on this quadruple, or on this Renban, we know there is a 4 somewhere here in one of these cells, and there is a 5 in one of these cells. Don't know what that means. Could we... Yeah, there's another point here though, isn't there? Right, if we mull these squares over, in fact let me label them. They're a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple. But again, we've got to be very careful here with 5 dominoes. We mustn't have... Yeah, so whatever this is, imagine this was a 2. If this is a 2, where is the 3 in this sequence? Well, it's got to be there. Because if this is a 2, you can't put 3 here or here, because it'll create naughty dominoes. So those two are actually paired up. Those two digits... let me actually just change the colour. Actually... Let's change the colour to purple. These two digits add up to 5, which means these two digits add up to 5. Now that's interesting. This is going to get very confusing because, well, what I'm noticing now is that this is not a purple digit. Because if this was purple, it's that digit, and that would create a purple naughty domino. So this digit, which is 2, 3 or 4, is one of those two cells. Can we do the same? Do I get to colour these? Surely I do. Yeah, I do. Okay, yes, this is obvious actually. So the panoply of digits that are 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s are the greys and the purples. But look in this row. There are 2 purples to come. This is definitely grey. In fact, maybe this is... no. Well, there are 2 purples in these squares. They must be kept apart, mustn't they? So those 2 must be the purples. That must be the grey. And now... Okay, so let's uncolour this column. Because this column needs greys and purples. We know for sure that this is grey. Because it can't be purple. And we know for sure, actually, we can now colour the greys individually. In the sense that... Yeah, how am I going to do this? Well, let's make that digit... Let's make that digit black now. So we're saying, so now I'm saying that black and grey add up to 5. But you can see that these 2 digits now must be the same digits. Because the black has already appeared in the lion. So given that we know that this is part of a... These are the black-grey pair and these are the black-grey pair. That must be grey and that must be black. So that digit is not 1, so it's 2, 3 or 4. Let's actually just fill in these. These are 1s, 2s, 3s and 4s. So in this column now, that digit, which is a low digit because it sees 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9, is not part of the grey-black pair that adds to 5. So that digit is a purple digit that adds up to, well, it doesn't add up to anything. We don't yet know, or do we? Or do we? Yeah, so now we can start to colour the purple digits a bit, because these two digits are different, because they're both in the lion, which means that digit is the same as that digit. So we need to somehow note that. So we'll give this one, how should we make it clear what that one is? We'll make that, give it a light green. So how do we colour purples within this domino? I'm not sure. Bobbins, I can't see how to do it. That can't be 4, can it? That can't be 4, because the other side, if this was 4, the other side of grey would need to be a 1. So this is 1, 2, or 3. I feel like I've got a bit bogged down actually now. I think I've got sidetracked. It was all going merrily, and then I've got, no, hang on. Right, I hadn't noticed this, but I have now. In the lion's got all the low digits in it. It's got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So these digits are all massive. So these are 5, 6, 7, and 8, and we know that 5, 6, 7, 8 are these colours. So we just have to colour these in now, and we'll be good to go. So how do we do that? No, I've changed my mind. Okay, that digit is on this Renban, and it's high, so there are now 2 high digits on this Renban. That means, firstly, this can't be 8. Secondly, this can't be 2 anymore, because if it's 2, this 4-cell Renban is 2, 3, 4, 5, and it could not have 2 high digits on it. Now, what does that mean? Oh, come on. Oh, this is sick. This is okay, this is my favourite bit of the puzzle so far. That digit I now know. I know its size. In fact, I've now got a digit in the puzzle, which is that. That is beautiful. Phistomefel strikes again. Yes, look at this square. And let's think about its nature. Now, if it was a low digit, let's see if we could make it a low digit somehow. What would it be? Well, it can't be the grey from the grey-black pair, because it sees the black digit in its row, and it sees the grey digit on its line, on the line where it couldn't repeat. So it's not. So it would have to be from the purple pair, but that would make a naughty domino. These would both be purple. The purples add up to 5, so that's impossible. So this cannot be low, and therefore it's high. And being high, we know it can't be 8 because this couldn't exist. So this is a 5, 6, 7 triple on the purple line, and that digit is a 4, which means that's a 4, that's a 1, that's a 1. We haven't just got one digit, we've got loads of digits. We've got loads of digits. That digit, this is beautiful, that digit's an 8. It sees a 5, 6, 7. Because these digits are all different, because they're on the Renban, they're a 5, 6, 7 triple, and they look at that digit, that's an 8. So these are not 8, they are both in the lion, aren't they? Yeah, it's slightly weird, but that is true. So that's an 8. I feel like that wants to make orange an 8, but that might not be right. Okay. Let me just okay. Let's take stock again and think. What is that meaning? Well, here's one thing I'm noticing. If that's a 4, if grey is a 4, then the colours that touch grey, which are blue and orange, can't have 6 in them, because that's going to create a naughty 10 domino. Okay, yeah, that is the world's worst deduction, isn't it? It's not actually done anything. Sorry, I thought that was going to be an intelligent thing to note, but unfortunately, That's not true. Okay, that can't be 6, so that can't be 6. So 6 is definitely either green or yellow. Yeah, so 6 is in one of those two squares. Now, what can we do with that knowledge? I'm not sure. Can we get... Okay, we've not put 1, 2 and 3 into column 3, so we should do that. So one of these is the black digit. Can I colour... I know these two are different. Yeah, okay. Right, so that digit is the same as that digit. This is getting it's getting quite complicated. But we have to remember that along the purple line here, these digits are all different. So these two digits are different, and they look at that digit. So that one must be the same as that. Those two, I'll make them A, because I don't I could label this with yellow green. I mean, I might as well, I suppose, but it's very specifically the same as that one. And now that digit, which has to appear in the lion somewhere, is that digit. So those two are the same digit. And that digit is, I don't know whether just to call that C, that's another digit. That's not A or B, because A and B are on the points there. So, okay, how has that helped me, if at all? The answer is, I don't know. We could argue that it's going to be something like, where does B go in this region, isn't it? Because B is in one of those two squares now, I think. What about... No, that was a bad thought I just had. Don't. Green. No, we don't know that green isn't 8, do we? Because green could be 8, because the 8 could go there in row 3. So what's the way to think about this? Maybe I've got to think about... Sorry, I've not got anything. As you probably spotted, I've not got anything at the moment. Okay, no, I've got one thing. I've got one thing, but it's changing tack altogether. Where is... I've got one cell, which is a 2 or a 3 in row 4. Where's the next? Where's the other 2 or 3? It can't go there, can it? Because if it goes there, that's a naughty domino, and it can't go there because that would be a naughty domino. So there's a 2 or a 3 here. But yes, that's great. Okay, this 2 or 3 is in the same region as that. So that's the light green one, which means that's the red one, that's the light green one, and we get a bit more done there. Now, how does that help us? Is the next question. Not sure. Well, no. Oh, no, this is fine. So where is this digit in this row? It can't repeat in its own region, so it has to go there. So that is a purple, green, 2 or 3. So now this purple, red 2 or 3 is in one of these two squares. And that might matter. I don't know. Okay. How do we do this then? What does this row need? It needs a 1, doesn't it, in one of these positions. So the 1 is in either that, it's in that position or that position. Don't think there's a problem with either of those. The other digit is the 5, 6 or 7 that is not C or B, so it's A. Ah, that's it, right. Goodness, this is quite complicated. Okay, so where is A, very specifically A, in row 4? Now what I didn't realise until I just thought about this now is, look, A is a yellow or a green, so one of these two up here is A. A must be yellow or green. And therefore, this cell cannot be A. So in row 4, this cell is A, which is 5, 6 or 7. Oh, this, I can see what this is going to do. No, I can't. Oh, no, I can. I can. Oh, this is beautiful. Right, firstly, let's deal with 1. Where's 1 in row 4? It's got to go there. That's forced, which is the black digit. Right, but much, much more beautifully, look at this square. This square sees a 2, 3 pairs, so it definitely has a 3. So if this was 7, it would create a naughty domino, either vertically or horizontally. So it cannot be 7, but by the given digit, it cannot be 5, so it's 6. And that's A, isn't it? So A is 6. 6, 6. One of these is definitely 6. Okay, so still don't actually know which colour this is, but that's probably not important. This definitely feels like a big jump forward, doesn't it? Please, please be a big jump forward. Okay, so we've got a load of 6s in the grid. Can we go any further than that, though? I don't know, actually. So 6 is yellow or green. So what can't 6 go next to? 4. Yeah, so it's getting a bit difficult to put 4 into this region because it can't go in the... Oh, no, let's not do this region. Why don't we do this row? Where does 4 go? Can't go in either of those two squares. It would create naughty dominoes. So that's a 4. So that 4 can't go next to 1 in this region. Oh, that's gorgeous. This is just simply sublime. So that 1 has to go there, which displaces a B. So that's a 5 or a 7 now. That is B. Feels like it's almost doing stuff. So let's mark that up with the colour that it needs to be. The given 5 is looking at the B. So that's got to be 7. So B is 7. B is 7. So C is 5. Okay. That must do it, doesn't it? Yeah, that does do it. Because now look at this. This domino can't add up to 10. So purple red is 2, which means purple green is 3. So we get a whole load of new things entered into the grid. This looks all filled in. We need 5 into this box. So that's got to be 8. And that's not 5 and hasn't been able to be 5 forever, but I just didn't see it. And the result of this is that we can argue... Well, that's not 7 actually either. I've just spotted because of this. Okay. Right, where do we go? Where do we get an easy win from here? We could argue about... Okay, that digit. Oh, that's it. Look at that. It's that. It literally is this digit, which sees 2 and sees 3. So that can't be 8 or 7. That's 5. That might have been there for ages as well. I just didn't notice it. Okay, so now I've got a 7-8 pair in... Yeah, so blue-orange is a 7-8 pair, which means that after all this... we can say that yellow-green is 5, 6. Oh, which we've known for a while, have we? Okay. But how do we differentiate the 7s and the 8s and the... So this square here is now definitely 5 or 6. These two are definitely 7 and 8. Oh, sorry, not 7 and 8. No, we're close, I think. I think we're closing in on a solution, but we haven't quite got it yet. If we knew what this was, we could limit this one. And we've got to put... so it's now 2 that's down here, because we can't put 2 next to 3. Could we... don't know, actually. Don't know. Where's 8 in this funny region here? It's got to be down there, one of those 2 squares. That means 2 in this region we've got to be a bit careful with. 2 can't go in those 2 squares. Is that useful? Not sure. Oh, no. I was about to ask a very silly question, which is where does 7 go in that row? I'm not going to ask that question. I feel most people can answer that question very clearly. Where's 4 in this row? Can't go next to 6, can't go next to 1, can't go in its own column. So one of 2 places, I think. Can we do better than that? I'm not sure. Oh, bother. How do we finish this with some sort of aplomb? Oh, I've got it. 2 is here. 2 can't go next to 8, so that's got to be a 6. Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. So if that's 6, the green is 5. So yellow is the digit now that is a 6. So let's correct every opportunity that we have. Yellow is 6. So that's 6. This is 5. 5. That's no longer yellow, therefore. Every 5 is green. Wherever we see 5s, we can turn them green. Wherever we see 6s, we can turn them yellow. That digit is now blue and is 7 or 8. 7, 8, blue. And the result of that... Oh, okay. Where is yellow in this region? I don't think it's got many possible homes. It's there. So we can fill that in. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got, yeah, okay, we've got 7 6s. So we can write the final 6 into the grid in the only remaining cell that it can go in from a Sudoku perspective. Now we need 2 and 8 in this column. And somehow or other that doesn't... Oh no, it is resolved. Look, there's an 8 looking at that square, so that's got to be 2 in the corner. That's an 8. That 8 is disambiguating the oranges, which means that 8 is a blue digit after all this, which means that's a blue digit. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. I thought some, I don't know, irregular Sudokus, they often have chains of the same digit down diagonals, so I was expecting this to be orange. So that's orange, that's blue, that's orange. We know that 2 is purple-red, don't we? And 4 was grey. So we're going to have a very, very colourful grid at the end of this. Right, so where do we look now for an easy win? Where's 3 in this box? Can't go next to 2. Can't go in those squares or that one, so that's 3. And 3 is purple-green. And in this region down here, we've not put in 4, which can't go in those squares next to 6. Okay, 4, 7 maybe. I can't quite pinpoint it. 8 can't go next to 2, but already couldn't. So 8 is in one of those 2 squares. Creating an X-wing on 8s in these columns. So 8 is now not in those. Oh, it never was. 8. Oh no, we've done a lot of 8s actually. We've literally just got left this X-wing at the bottom. Okay, why don't we try... We could try... Maybe... No. I was going to say 2 in this region, which is restricted, but probably not restricted enough. Or maybe this column, 1, 4 and 7 to place. So this square is 1 or 4. That square is 1 or 7. It can't be 4 because of the 6 domino that would be created. And that square is 1, 4. Oh, okay, so the question I should ask is, where does 7 go in this column? 7 can't go here because it would be next to 3, so 7 goes at the top. Which probably doesn't do very much. Sort of picking off little opportunities, aren't we? Okay, so these are all the low digits in the top row. And again, we've got to be a little bit careful to make sure that we don't create naughty dominoes. So these two are going to be the same, and these two are going to be the same. We've got the same, exactly the same problem in this row as well. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. So there must be a 2 in this domino, otherwise it would be a 1-4 pair. Okay, that doesn't... 2. Look, there's a 2 here, so that's a 2. So now in this column, we haven't put in 7 and 4, and we can do that. 7 goes in the corner, that becomes a 4. Now, has that helped? I mean, we can colour these in later. Yeah, it has helped, because now I can ask where 4 goes in this region. And because we can't put 4 next to 6, we have to put it here. So that's a 4, that's a 1. And this region at the bottom hasn't got 1, 7 and 8 into it, so we can put the 7 in. We've got a 1, 8 pair, and that means that digit's got to be a 2 by Sudoku. And that means that's not a 2 at the top. And that digit is now known to be a 4, which means that, we've got 1, 3 pair here, so we can tidy up everything at the top. We get left with a 2, 4 pair. Oh, come on. How is that not resolved? That's comedy. Oh, the 1 here is doing everything. Okay, I just didn't overlooked my Sudoku. Okay, so we've got 2, 3 and 4 in this column. So this square here can't be 4 because it would be next to 1. So this is 2 or 3. And that square is a 3 by Sudoku then. So that's 2, that's 4, that's 2, that's 4. So can't put 2 next to 3. So 1, 3, that's going to be a 3. This column hasn't got a 5 in it. And that's a... Oh, suddenly it's finished. That was weird. Okay, so let's do the highlighting in the hope that we've got this right. So 4's are grey. 3's are purple and light green. 2's are purple and red. 8's are blue. 7's are orange. And 5's were dark green. Is that... Oh. Okay. Well, hopefully that's correct. It's got a solution in it. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, I hope it's right. That's the first time in a while we've done a puzzle that hasn't had a solution. I will have to check this carefully, and if it is right, I will create a version for you guys that has got a solution in it, so you can double check that it's right and it's the same as mine. That's beautiful. So the 2 things about this puzzle that I thought were absolutely exceptional were this Renban not being able to be anything other than 5, 6, 7 or 8, because I mean this is such a Phistomefel point. It's such a sort of subtle but lovely thing to notice that if you have a consecutive set of digits in a 2 by 2 and you create just 2 other dominoes that deal with the diagonals, then that is forced to be 5, 6, 7, 8. That's weird, isn't it? And then this one was beautiful, when you could look at that digit and know it couldn't be low. And that resolved that whole thing. And then it was just sort of irregular Sudoku to finish from there. What a lovely, lovely way to welcome in 2024. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a go. Do let me know in the comments. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind, and a happy new year to everybody out there. And thank you so much for watching the channel. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.